Welcome back to Politico Politica with me, your host, Isabella Akinseye. Before the break, we listened to our guest share her political journey and her decision to run for the highest job in the land. Dr. Ezekwesili, this is our Project Nigeria segment, and I know you already started speaking about the problems. Now we want to hear your vision, the solution. If you had to categorize or prioritize 3 major challenges Nigeria is facing, what will they be and what will your solution be to them?
So number 1 is what I call solving the poverty crisis, that we became the world capital of poverty, 87 million of our citizens in pernicious poverty, extreme poverty. And we overtook India, a country that's 7 times our population in that regard. We must tackle the poverty challenge immediately. That's why in my manifesto, the lifting 80 million Nigerians out of poverty is a centrality of what we want to achieve. Of course, while achieving that, we want to create the environment for the prosperity of every other Nigerian. And so solving that poverty problem is key. And our handle for doing that is, putting the private sector at the center of economic progress, while government does what it does well, what it should do well. So we're going to be very effective in the policy on the policy side of things, whether the whole macroeconomic policies, monetary policy by an independent central bank, fiscal policy by a government, by an administration that understands that we really need to run very healthy budgets. We need to have structure of budget that focuses very well on the development of critical capital around physical capital of infrastructure, human capital of human beings who are healthy and who then get the opportunity for the right kinds of skills and knowledge and resilience. A government that understands the limits of what it can do in the economy and deregulates as many sectors as possible so that private sector has an inroad into those sectors that have opportunities for growth. What we're going to get is an economy that works. When that economy works on the basis of advanced progress in productivity and competitiveness. When that happens, what you have is jobs, and more jobs. And that means that you are solving the poverty problem, because as people earn income, they take themselves out of poverty. Then the third part of it is the conversation that look, really, oil has had its days, and we're probably in post-oil economy. Nigeria, we are doing a sea change where we're saying that education will be the new oil and human capital will be the new economy. That changes the mindset. That changes the kind of people who want to go into politics, because it's no longer politics of indolence, of waiting for the prices of oil to increase, and when it falls to start crying and saying, why am I unfortunate, which is what our president did.
What about the issue of security? I mean, your political journey is very much linked to insecurity, the kidnapping of our girls. What will you do differently, and how will you bring our girls back?
So they are all connected, because I was going to then say to you that primacy of the Nigerian life is based on the fact that if the citizens are not alive, you're not able to convert them from just human beings to world-class capital, human capital, right? So you've got to have a security system that safeguards the lives of your citizens. That primacy, that dignity, that Nigerian lives matter kind of position in our administration means that we will broaden the concept of security of the Nigerian life to human security, where we're focused on ensuring that the signal we give is that, Nigerian citizens cannot be left to this kind of an almost to what will be. Just think of how people who can kill our people easily find it comfortable to live amongst us. They actually live on our territory. And we haven't figured out what to do with this. No, this kind of internal terrorism will not happen under my command as a President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. We're going to have to get these people out of our territory. So we will do immediately a very strong SWAT team that will focus on ridding our territory of those who hate us so much that all they do is inflict pain and killings. That's one. The second bit is reforming our military establishment. Then we would focus on professionalizing systems and command and structures. Then you look at preventive measures where intelligence assets have to be stacked up in our favor. Intelligence asset, when you build it up as well as you should, cutting-edge technology in today's world, collaborating and sharing systems with your neighbors and others, what would happen is that you would be preemptive and you would be proactive, and so you will be ultimately preventive. Then the final thing is this broadening. So it means that the economy growing, job opportunities, linking the rural communities that feel completely cut off from what the rest are doing. I mean, think of it. You go to some of these communities in the Northeast, you know that there is an absence of government. And because government is missing, any other person can come and promise anything, and there would be a substitute for government. So we want to make sure that the rural parts of our country feel connected to governance. And so jobs, and more jobs. We're going to figure out how it is that our economic policy arrangement would attract the right kinds of businesses, even to the rural environments. We have the thoughts. Go to oby2019.com and read.
Thank you, Dr. Ezekwesili. We'll be going on a quick break, but when we return, it's our light-hearted segment, the quick fire segment. Do stay with us.